exciting. And if you didn't see the game the other night, you missed a good one. Don't miss tonight's game. The fans are incredible. Our fans are absolutely incredible. Let me just answer. Somebody wants to know what our happy hour entails. It's sodas, wine, cheese, crackers, meat, cookies. Fun. Somebody's coming to the class. I love it. They want to know what we're going to have. I like that. Pretty good, pretty good. Okay, I'm getting my act together here because I'm going to show something today. Okay, let us move on here today. I know, I was only 2 minutes late, right? Okay, let me hide that little guy. Go Knights. Come on, everybody. Get that positive energy out there because I believe in that. You know, I believe that what you put out there it happens. It happens. It's amazing. So what's going on today in real estate? Well, my happy face, we listed 124 homes yesterday, which is fantastic. Keeps us right about 19 days of inventory, which is like 2/3 of a month, which is really good. And we put 100 under contract, or 100. What am I looking at? The wrong day, of course. Hold, please. There we go. Oops. Hold. Where'd it go? Oh my, yeah. Well, the stats are right on the screen. I just printed the wrong one. Okay, not a big deal. We put 100 under contract. So everybody's still selling. And one of the things that I wanted to tell everybody is that when I adjusted the 385 to median, today I adjusted the equity. So people now have even more equity. Another reason that you can contact people and say, oh my gosh, look what just happened. So 2298, 2,298 single family homes available. That's excellent. And I think we listed 48 homes yesterday that were under 400,000 or 0 to 400. So that's a good thing. And I wanted to show you now. Let's move on here. We're doing 137 average a day. So you guys are doing fantastic. Okay, the rankings. I'm always concerned about the rankings. The top 1, 2, and 3 are the platforms that Zillow, Open Door, the non-MLS, and they are a huge percentage of our sales. So if you look at the price point, man, they are right in there. They're not buying the cheap stuff. They're buying, in fact, Zillow's offering $5,000 above list price right now, all cash. I think a lot of these that I've seen come across my desk in our office are not, they're not contingent upon repairs. And I think possibly that depends on the house that they chose. So I think that there's some that say, yes, it is contingent upon repairs. And the interesting thing is, if on the Zillow contract, if you're representing the buyer for a Zillow house, it says that the inspection is just for information. Now, I'm not really sure how they're getting away with that, if you all are just buying into that, because you don't want to lose the house, right? And that might be, these guys are on top of the market. So, maybe we have a lot to learn from them. Who knows? But that's what's going on. But yeah, that price point, they're up there buying. My whole point is they're buying the houses that our buyers want to buy. Right, they're buying the houses that our buyers want to buy. So that's what disturbs me about them being 1, 2, and 3. It's it just, I don't know. I don't like it. So let's talk today. Let's move on today. So today I want to share with you. Jimmy Dague always. I wish he was here today. He always gives us such exciting books and things like that, and when he teaches, and he always has his book list, and this is one of his books. It's called The Tools of the Titans, and the author is Tim Ferriss. And hold on, please, let me see. Good morning, Frank. Good morning. Good to see you. Good morning. So it's he's written, actually he's more of a I want to say geek, because he decided to go from freak to geek, or geek to freak. I forget, if you take a moment and Google that. That's what he's famous for, and it went viral. And he has 17 questions that changed my life, and it's very good because he's always testing the impossible. And I do believe that he says reality is largely negotiable. If you stress test the boundaries and experiment with the impossibles, you'll quickly discover that most limitations are a fragile collection of socially reinforced rules you can choose to break at any time. So then he goes on and he asks these questions. And I'm going to put this in the group so you all can have it. And one of the things, his first question, which I really love, is what if I did the opposite for 48 hours? And so he was, he was working in San Jose, his first job out of college, 9 to 5. So all the people that he worked with worked 9 to 5. All the managers, they worked 9 to 5. So he thought, and he had to make phone calls. Okay, so for the first few months, he failed and he failed. And then one day he realized something. He said, all of the sales guys make their calls between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Okay, obvious. So, because that's when they work. But that's part one. Part two is he realized that all of the gatekeepers who kept him from the decision makers, the CEOs and the CTOs, also worked from 9 to 5, right? All the CEOs and the chief executive officers, the people that were the people that he needed to reach, worked from 9 to 5. So what if he did the opposite? Because they're all working, right? So he said, I'm going to take a Thursday and a Friday, and I'm going to make sales calls only from 7 to 8:30 a.m. and from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And for the rest of the day, I focused on cold emails. And it worked like gangbusters. The big boss often picked up the phone directly, and I began doing more experiments with, what if I did the opposite? What if I only asked questions instead of pitching, right? Ask questions. How often have we said that, right? Give value, ask questions. And so he did the opposite, and he studied the technical material, so he sounded like an engineer instead of a salesperson, okay? And I know we're salespeople, right? But we're not salespeople, we're consultants. We know so much about real estate, we don't even know how much we know. And I believe that. I truly believe that. And why we're timid about going out there and doing the things that we should do, doing videos, picking up the phone, doing these things is beyond me. And so he said, if I ended my emails with, I totally understand that you're too busy to reply. And thank you for reading this far. Instead of the usual, I look forward to your reply and speaking soon. So he said, I totally understand if you're too busy to reply, and thank you for reading this so far. So the experiments paid off. The last quarter in that job, he outsold the entire Los Angeles office of one of the biggest competitors, EMC. And I don't know who that is, but that doesn't matter. So you think about that. Are you just following? Are you leading? And if you're not doing one of those, you need to get out of the way, right? Because there's people that are innovative, that are making money. That's how Zillow got to where they are. They're innovating. They're doing things that we're afraid to do. You can't be afraid to farm. You can't be afraid to do the things. I mean, I'm teaching 100 Days to Greatness, right? Me and Jimmy. And every week there's homework to do. You got to write personal notes. You got to do pop-bys. You got to knock on doors. And you have to have a farm. And you have to realize that if you have 100, just 100 people in your database, that you can make a living off that 100 people. But you have to communicate with them. If you don't want to make $100,000 in this business, let me show you something. Let me hide this guy for a second. We'll be back to you, Tim Ferriss. That's Tim Ferriss, by the way. Okay, here's the thing. All right, if you want to gross 100,000, you have to understand that you're only going to net 52,000. And if you're happy with that your first year, okay. But then your next year, you need to increase that. You know, you can double your business in a year. I mean, Annetta Rapolga has proven that. And she did it because she just followed the recipe. That's all she did. She followed making the calls. She followed doing the ads. She followed everything, cleaned up her LinkedIn, got a Google business page, did this. These things it's not rocket science, but nobody's doing it. So do the opposite. Do what nobody else is doing. If that makes you, if you can get your head around that. But when we had Remax, if you didn't want to make $100,000 a year, I didn't hire you. I didn't hire you because I wanted people that wanted to work, and you can't soar with the eagles if you're laying around with the turkeys. And people that don't want to make $100,000 a year, get out of our way, really. You're messing up the numbers. I'm sorry if I'm offending somebody, but really go get a job. And that's, Kane is brilliant. He said the other day, he said, now he's not a real estate agent, right? He's a techie guy. I'm trying to turn him more into, being a teacher and an instructor and a marketing. And he's embracing all those things. And he's very observant. And he said, most real estate agents, they think they're going to become a real estate agent and it's a job. Kane said, I have a job. I work 9 to 5 and I get a paycheck. That's a job. Real estate, what are you doing? You're building a business. Jimmy Dague says, if I ask you what you're doing and you don't say I'm building a business, you need to get out of real estate because you're a business person. You're not an employee. So you've got to do these things. You've got to start realizing you're building a business. And what do businesses do? They increase their business. So if you want to start out, and I would hire people, and we had a leaderboard at the time on the Remax sign out there, and it said, stop here if you want to earn $100,000 a year. So when people came in, guess what my first question was? Do you want to make $100,000 a year? Or I wouldn't even ask them. I'd ask them to tell me how much they wanted to make. Because if I ask you, of course you want to, but is that your desire? Is that what's inside of you? Are you motivated to do what I tell you to do so that you can gross $100,000 a year your first year? And if they didn't put something in escrow in the first 3 months, sorry, goodbye. The door's always open if you go and you hone your skills and you get your book of business going. But until you do that, you can't be here. You can't be here. And I know that sounds like, Ruth, are you that mean? No, I'm not mean. It's tough love, everybody. It's tough love. I want people around me that want to succeed in life, that want to do something with themselves. Don't you? I mean, we want to be around people that inspire us. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to go where the smarter people are so you can learn things. And that's, when Jimmy Dague says, read this book, and then I start reading these books, this is what happens to me. I get so inspired by people who are doing things and making things happen. And I applaud Brian Buffini, honest to God. He has been doing his job for 25 years, building his business for 25 years with the same basic principles, because I have been with him for 25 years. Nothing has changed except maybe video emails and, adding video to and social media. But that's just part of life, but the basics haven't changed. The basics haven't changed. And if you're going to gross $100,000, you need to know you got to pay your taxes and there's got to be expenses involved. And the reason why there's expenses involved down here, $24,000 in expenses, is you probably have to pay your broker something. Right? You may be running an office. You may be doing advertising. You've got to be marketing, and that costs money. It costs money to advertise. If you're just starting out on social media, you got to be putting in at least $300 a month. And don't buy leads. Because they're not leads, they're prospects. A lead is a qualified opportunity. Don't buy prospects. You're wasting your time. Be Tim Ferriss. Get on the phone when people aren't on the phone. Do videos when people aren't doing videos. Send the videos out. Find a way to door knock, for heaven's sakes. Door knock. And do it when people are home. And if you can't catch them at home for whatever reason, leave something. That's the Popeye. Leave the ketchup, relish, and mustard. With a little saying, I relish our relationship. I just want to catch up with you. You know that I can cut the mustard for you in real estate. Let me know if you have any real estate needs. Know a friend or family member who does. I want to be your realtor. How hard is that, guys? Seriously, I'm on a rant today. I am on a rant today because I'm so inspired by these things that Jimmy has given me. And then, okay, Tim Ferriss. Let's go back to Tim for just a second. And I have 12 more minutes today, so bear with me. Okay. Then he sent this out. Join my 1.5 million subscribers and receive exclusive tools, tips, and resources directly from Tim. Type in your email address and that's simple. Do you know how easy that is to do on social media? And you can say, join my subscribers, or join 100 subscribers, join, whatever, you probably don't have 1.5 million, right? But just put that out there. This stuff is so easy. Sometimes, why 20% of the people make 80% of the money? Because they've captured how easy it is to do business if you're doing business with your customers that are going to do business with you. These people you don't know, just send them something all the time. Put them on automatic pilot and start spending your time with the people who are going to give you business or do business with you. That's what this is all about. And he says the 80-20 principle, also known as Pareto's law, is the primary tool. It dictates that 80% of your desired outcomes are the result of 20% or less of your activities. That's why we're saying spend 20%, spend most of your time with the people who are going to give you business. That's where you want to spend your time. Stop just going through your emails all the time and buying prospects. And then, because you know what you have to do with those prospects? You have to keep in touch with them. And they cost you money. And maybe if you want that to be one part of your business, maybe 5% of your business, that's fine. But it's not going to gross you $100,000 a year or net you $52,000, because I know there might be something that you can pay a ton of money for, like 50% of your commissions. Now you're only making what, $25,000 a year? Think about it. This is a numbers game. You're building a business. Okay, one other thing, and then I'm probably going to have to go because I've got to make my shows shorter. I got 9 minutes. Okay, here's the next person that, oh my gosh, Tom Ferriss interviewed this gentleman, and his name is Ron Friedman. I'm telling you guys, he's genius. This man is genius. His book is called Decoding Greatness. Decoding Greatness. Okay. What is decoding greatness? It's reverse engineering it. I talk about reverse engineering all the time, right? You look at what somebody else is doing to be successful and you reverse engineer. Well, what are they doing? Aaron Taylor, for God's sake. I talk about him all the time. You reverse engineer what he does. He writes personal notes. He Popeyes with gifts. He sends everybody salt with his picture on it. Right? He does those things. It's not difficult. I used to think when I interview agents, they all thought this was a tough business. No, it's not a tough business if you do the things you're supposed to do. Okay. You're supposed to have a database. I had somebody tell me the other day, how am I going to get a database? How many times have I said to this person, get a farm, start meeting people? Do you know how many, if you knock 5 doors a day and you get one person who answers the door, in 3 months, you have 100 people in your database, somebody you've met face to face. Think about and then that doesn't take that much time. Knock on 5 doors a day, get one. If it takes you 10 doors and you get one, still in 3 months, you're going to have 100 people in your database, people that know your face, people that see that you get their information. Now you have 100 people and it took you 3 months. You have to do it yourself. Quit buying prospects. Go out and get qualified leads. And those are people that know, like, and trust you and that will buy from you. Okay, so what else? Quickly, Ruth. Okay, in a world where expertise is a moving target, the ongoing pursuit of knowledge is imperative to getting ready and to getting ahead. Staying on top of new innovations and professional trends is no longer just for the go-getters. It's a basic requirement for staying relevant, right? I mean, you have to stay relevant. You have to learn how to video, for instance. Yes, video. Who thought I would say that, huh? The right kind of learning does much more than just help you stay current. It also bolsters your creativity, empowers you to pluck valuable ideas from adjacent fields, and enables you to acquire a unique combination of skills. And over time, all those things add up, multiplying your chances of making meaningful contributions and enabling you to stand out from thousands of professionals in your field. Fantastic. I have 7 minutes left, and I want you to go to Amazon and buy this book. That's what I want you to do. But we're going to watch. Let's hope it works, right? Oh my gosh. Here's me doing things that are uncomfortable, right? Comfortable becomes comfortable with practice and action. I hope so. Okay, we're going to try this. Hang on, everybody. We're going somewhere. Now let's see. I've got to go to wherever it is. Where did it go? There he is.
Most of us grew up with the same basic stories about success. We were told that we had to find our talent or practice for thousands of hours, and then maybe we'd get our shot at greatness. I'm a social science researcher, and over the last few years, I took a hard look at how success really happens. I studied top performers in a wide range of fields, from chefs, artists, and authors to athletes, inventors, and business titans. What I discovered is that the old paradigm is wrong. The truth is that many of those at the very top of their profession didn't get there by sheer talent or decades of practice. They got there by mastering a skill that few people have ever heard of. It involves studying the best in the field and then working backwards to figure out how they did it. That process is called reverse engineering. In Silicon Valley, it's well known. For decades, ambitious coders have deconstructed winning products to learn how they're made. It's how we got the personal computer and laptops and even the iPhone. But it's not just technology, because reverse engineering also explains how authors like Stephen King learned to write and how painters like Claude Monet became the groundbreaking artists that we all love, and how Judd Apatow emerged as one of the most successful comedy minds of our generation. You don't have to be a genius to achieve greatness, but you do need a method for getting there. In Decoding Greatness, I walk you through the secret strategy that vaulted some of the most legendary achievers to the top of their profession and show you how you can apply their approach to your field so you can learn from the best, pinpoint exactly what makes the work so powerful, and apply their winning strategies to succeed faster. This book is your ticket to learning from the smartest, most creative people in the world. You'll learn how Barack Obama became a masterful speaker, how Malcolm Gladwell became a literary sensation, how Steven Spielberg turned Back to the Future into a blockbuster hit. You'll also discover the hidden patterns that make Marvel movies so successful, the business formula that turns Starbucks and Chipotle into billion-dollar franchises, and the one metric that catapulted Ritz-Carlton into the world's most acclaimed luxury hotel chain. These are more than fascinating stories. They offer a vital roadmap to learning, creativity, and mastery in any field. Through these stories, you're going to learn how to find hidden patterns inside your favorite book, podcast, and TED Talk, how to generate breakthrough ideas by injecting just the right amount of creativity, and the fastest way to shrink the gap between your current ability and your ultimate vision. I wrote this book to give you a new perspective on what it takes to achieve greatness and how you can get there faster. Because the truth is, when you set aside the old ideas about talent and practice, greatness is a lot more achievable than you've been led to believe.
So